was March 11th, 2020. It was in the evening, I think 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I first heard it, and all our lives have changed so much since then. Today is May 6th, so in less than 2 months, what has happened has been nothing any of us have ever experienced in our lives. That was the day, the March 11th date, is when the NBA suspended their season. And earlier that day, the NCAA, they said that they were going to play their Final Four without anyone in the stands, and later they changed that. They canceled it, and then, as all of you know, they've pretty much canceled all sporting events since then. And, obviously we have our entertainment in our lives, sports and movies and all that other stuff, but we also have our regular lives. And I wanted to share with you how it is to work for Compass during this time with COVID-19. And I'm pretty sure you could relate to this. When things change and there's uncertainty, we have no idea what is in store for us. First, our jobs, and our family, our friends, when will we see them, just everything in general. And especially for me and many of you other people out there that work in 100% commission industry and with people losing their jobs. And if my stats are correct, the last I heard, 30 million people are out of work. And so when you're selling a product as expensive as a home and you're worried what's going to happen to get your next paycheck, there are many things that go on in your mind. And one of the things that I was thinking like, how is my company Compass that I work for? I've been there just over 2 years now. How are they going to react to this happening? And, it took like one day to really find out. And I am so pleasantly surprised with my experience that I've had with Compass. And basically the first day, Robert Refkin, our CEO, he was there, he's present, he's available, and I have seen him. So for those of you that don't work at Compass or don't know how real estate works, we have in our office and many of the offices around the country at Compass. And for those, let me take a step back. For those of you that don't know Compass, Compass is the largest independent real estate company in the world. We have the highest valuation, according to, I guess, all the other brokers in the world. Our valuation, if I'm not mistaken, it's over $6 billion, where other companies that you may have heard of in the past. The biggest one in the US is called Realogy, and Realogy owns Sotheby's, Coldwell Banker, Better Homes and Garden, Century 21, and their valuation, I haven't looked recently, but it's probably close to $1 billion, give or take. So with that said, we are known to many, and Compass is sort of polarizing. We're sort of like politics nowadays. You either love some people or you hate some people. That's how Compass is. I like to look at us as like the New England Patriots, because Compass, in order to be at Compass, you have to be a top agent, meaning you have to have sold a certain volume, whereas other companies that I've worked at, Sotheby's, Coldwell Banker, and every other company that I know doesn't really look at criteria for hiring people as far as sales and proving the sales and showing your actual income statements that show you made a certain amount. They're just different. And another thing, and I'm sorry I'm sort of off topic, but I think it's sort of important to the conversation, is that, and if you hear me breathing a little bit hard, it's because I'm walking right now. It's with COVID-19, I'm allowed to do so many things that I normally couldn't do in the past. And now when I'm on a call or I'm just doing a podcast or whatever I'm doing, I like to walk. And I've been walking about, maybe 5 or 10 miles a day. and it's really good for the mind and everything else. But let me get back. I'm sort of getting in the weeds. But one of the things about Compass, besides having to have a certain volume, and typically the agent needs to sell a minimum of 5 million a year, which is usually a lot more than that. But that's if you just want to barely meet the standard to get to Compass. And another thing they do is before they hire anyone, they ask 3 people that work at Compass if that agent is collaborative and has no ego. They want good people at the company. And what that does is it creates a community. So that's Compass in general. So basically, when I go to my office, everyone is nice, everyone helps, and you'll probably get to know that a little bit better as I talk more about what's been going on during COVID-19. So anyways, Robert Refkin, he comes out with a video, and he speaks to us, very compassionate, but with a plan as well, telling us what's going on, giving us a plan, and then just updating us. In these 2 months, just under 2 months, he has been updating us almost daily about what's going on. And let me just give you one of his perspectives, which is so true. He said with COVID-19, what it's done is it's basically the industries that we have, it's basically speeded up everything that would have taken place anyways in the future. So for example, that would be like people meeting virtually a lot more than they do now. Another thing would be people buying groceries online, having that come to them a lot sooner than it would in the past. And there are many other examples, but I don't want to really get into that. But he was just giving us an idea of what's going on. Another thing is we have, if I'm not mistaken, over 15,000 agents, and we're in so many markets in the US. But what he's done is every single meeting we have been to, he has been there at the meeting virtually and telling us all the great things that are happening in the future and updating us with the market and other things in general. But with that said, there's full transparency. Like sometimes people will ask him questions. Like when he's speaking with us, there'll be the chat. It's called Blue Jeans, which is like Zoom is the platform that we use. And when he's speaking, he can see the chat, and he'll make sure to acknowledge the people, answer questions, whether it's a good answer, bad answer. And I mean, let me go back a step again. When I say all this thing about COVID-19 and working at Compass, not everything is great, because as you've seen, every single company pretty much has had to have layoffs, cut people's pay, and do a lot of those things. And you know, one of the things that really made me feel good about the company I work for, I mean, there's hundreds, but this was yet again another one. They had a reduction in pay for many people in the industry. Obviously, as real estate agents, we get 100% commission as far as meaning we get paid when we sell. And so we don't Compass, affecting our pay isn't Compass, it's us selling or not selling. So what they did is when they reduced the pay of many of these employees, they didn't just reduce it. What they did is they said, okay, we're going to reduce your pay, but in the future, within, I don't know, a few months, I can't remember the exact time, we are going to give you equity in the company for the income that you lost. So it's basically a delayed pay, and potentially it could be worth a lot more than what their pay was, because it's stocks in the company which has the highest valuation. So anyways, in these meetings, just to give you a behind the scenes outlook on the meetings. So today's meeting, we had about an hour and 15-minute meeting. And I think you'll get a better understanding of how Compass is during COVID by me sharing with you a few things that happened during that meeting. So in the beginning, Robert Refkin comes on. And when I say Robert Refkin, all the other leaders at Compass have joined us at our meetings, and they've done similar stuff that Robert has done. Just updated us on things, being fully transparent, telling us the good and bad, and having a plan to get there to the future. So, anyways, today during our meeting, I felt like I was at an Apple convention, an Apple event where they're releasing the new iPhone or iPad or whatever. Because we're a technology company, so people that really know Compass look at us as Apple for real estate. And a lot of times, because we're a polarizing company, as like I mentioned, say maybe the New England Patriots, you have people that will say technology company. What do you mean? You're not a technology company. I don't see anything. And unless you're behind the scenes and working for the company, you don't really know it, because it's sort of like a wedding planner. There's so many things going behind the scenes, but as long as the experience is good, no one really cares how they got there to the wedding, and the wedding was perfect. So to give you an example, a typical real estate brokerage like Sotheby's, Coldwell Banker, any of these other big ones, Keller Williams, whoever it is, they typically have 0 to 1 engineers on their company, full-time hired engineers working for that company day in, day out to improve their products. Typically what they'll do is they'll outsource things, they'll have different projects, trying to improve certain products now and then, or create a product. So there's a disconnect there, because you're not getting feedback daily from agents, from managers, from brokers, and because you're not getting that, you're also not getting the customers' feedback, because the agents and the managers, the brokers, they're the ones who would know it. They're the ones that would share it. So with Compass, 0 to 1 engineers for a regular company. Compass has nearly 600. So they have 500. So we have like these real estate campuses, these technology hubs. So we have one in New York, we have one in Seattle, and we have one in Hyderabad, India. And in India, that place there is like comparable to Silicon Valley on steroids. So they are really, really tech. They're really techy over there. So another thing that we do have besides those 500, during this time, we realized, and even though all those engineers can create products for mobile and desktop and all that, and different other experiences, we made sure we went even all in. When companies are saving money on hiring, we have now 90 mobile engineers specifically for mobile, because Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, he won't look at a new product that his team is sharing with him unless it's mobile first, because that's how people look at things. So anyways, we have so many people that are doing that. Another thing is, we have hired some of the best people within the last few months, even during COVID-19. So I'm sure all of you have heard of Alexa or spoken to Alexa, and a lot of times maybe you even mentioned Alexa when you were just talking to someone, and then your Alexa is asking you what you need. But the person that created Alexa, the person that was in charge of Amazon Prime Video, joined Compass. And you'd think like he was the chief of staff for Jeff Bezos, and he was one of the early Amazon employees. So the guy's loaded, and he had a great job. He left them to join Compass to create our products. So, when you have someone that has all the money, when they have a great job and they leave to another company, it's not for money. It's usually for they want to make a change in the world. So we have him who just joined Compass. His name is Jeffrey Hart, I believe. Then we also, for all of you guys that have Teslas or no Tesla, you would probably know that one of the main reasons someone goes and buys a Tesla or they love their Tesla is because of the customer experience. Because Tesla has it so dialed in and the customer service is incredible, and just the customer experience is, it helps them sell a lot of cars. And so the person in charge of that joined Compass recently. And basically the same thing as the Amazon person. When you have a lot of money, when you have a great job, you're leaving because you want to make a difference in the world. And so they joined Compass as well. So another company, Microsoft, as you guys know, is huge. Microsoft is like Apple, or they were like Apple, and they're one of the top companies in the world. And so with that said, they have incredible artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all those other things. And the top person that was with them, the person in charge of that for Microsoft, works at Compass. His name is Joseph Soros, and he creates all these things. So let me get back to how Compass is during COVID. So at our meeting today, Robert Refkin was sharing with us products that are coming out or that they're working on that are in beta version. So one of the things is like typically when a person is selling their house, they'll have their house priced at a certain amount. Agent will give them feedback. A lot of times agents will unfortunately overpromise on the price or the circumstances when it'll sell and just different things like that because they just want to get the listing. But they won't hear back from the agent a lot of times until there's something wrong, where it's either something is wrong or a showing or they have an offer. They usually aren't getting updated on the market and what's going on. So Compass is creating this product, and it's like a virtual CMA, comparative market analysis. And so what it does is it'll do a few things. So one of the things is you can speak with the customer. It's like a product where the two of the people can just get on a call, like a Zoom call. It integrates like that, and you can share everything. Then what it'll do, the cool thing is you put in an address of the property and you will pull up the comparable properties, and then on each property, because we know that if everyone's neighborhood, no matter where you live, usually there's a home, there's usually an area that's maybe 2 or 3 or 4 blocks away that is completely different than your area, whether it's much better or much worse. So Compass, their artificial intelligence, takes that into consideration. So even if a property is a block away, it'll pull up that property and it'll tell you properties in this area, this neighborhood, are selling for 27 or 83% or whatever it is, less than your property. Would you like to make that adjustment? And it'll allow you to see a lot of things that we sort of know, but we don't know the exact numbers. We don't know how much it actually changes things. So that's a really cool product. And there's so many more things, but this is behind the scenes, and I can't really share with you. I'm not allowed to share with you too much more than that. Another thing is they have something like every seller that's going to sell, majority of them sell. And well, I guess it depends on the agent, because a lot of agents will get a lot of listings and a lot of them won't sell a lot, or their percentage. So say it's 60% of all the listings they get, they sell 60%, they don't sell 40%. And I've been fortunate in my career, it's closer to 95% that have been selling. But anyways, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But the point is, a lot of listings come on the market and they don't sell, especially during COVID-19. So with that said, we have an artificial intelligence tool that will be coming out, and it'll pull up any seller that we have at Compass, and it'll give us a score. What percent, how likely are they to sell their home? So it's pretty huge when you share that with a seller and they see what's going on. You can make the adjustments. Then you can go into that virtual CMA or the CMA and be able to know what adjustments to make. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that's pretty cool at Compass during COVID-19 is the community that we have, the collaboration that we have. As I mentioned, the top agents work at Compass. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And instead of during this time, like trying to just learn and improve on our own, we aren't. We are sharing. So we found 50 of the top agents that work at Compass, and we asked them all to collaborate and to share their secrets, why they are successful, why they are selling more homes, why are they making much more money than others. And so we created these courses where people can take them. And instead of just having that just for Compass, and there's probably like 50 or 100 different courses that we have that are high level, similar like that. I would say it would be like a Harvard or MIT or Yale type course for real estate. And instead of it just being for Compass, the CEO, Rob Refkin, said, you know what, let's just share that with the whole real estate community. So it's open to anyone that wants to learn and get better. Because we know as an industry, if we all get better, it'll be a better experience for everyone, the seller, the agent, the buyer, and their family. So that's pretty cool. Another thing during this meeting is we had an agent come on, and he's been spending a ton of money, ton of time, where they're analyzing the South Florida market, like really deep dive into what's going on. Because we know as agents and as people in real estate that during uncertain times, when things are so different, that is when our clients are looking for our advice the most. You know, when they can't see a home or they don't know what's going on, because unfortunately our news is polarizing. If you like one political affiliation, you're going to think this. If you like the other political affiliation, you're going to think this. And a lot of times the message gets cloudy. And so at this time, agents are the ones that are going to help someone with their biggest investment. And by diving that deep into these stats, we are able to get really good data in every single price point. So today, the agent that was sharing the information, he had 55 slides, and he didn't go over 55 slides, but he went over the major things. He summarized the major things, and then he sent us all the slides. So we can do it based on our, we'll have the best data for our price point, our zip code, single family home, condo, whatever it is, whether you have a buyer, seller. So just the collaboration was there. And there's a ton more things that took place, that has taken place during COVID-19. And just to give you an example, Compass has hired more people. More agents have wanted to come to Compass and that have actually been able to qualify to go to Compass during this time than pretty much any time in the past. We're getting so many people joining Compass because they see the differentiators that we have. So I'm sorry that this podcast was so long, but as you can probably tell, I'm pretty passionate, pretty grateful about being at Compass. And if you have any questions, whether you want to buy real estate or not, I'm not here to sell you anything. I mean, unless you want to buy something or sell something, but I'm here to basically educate you and give you information that may help you. And hopefully once in a while, I do a podcast and you think it's funny or it's entertaining to you. But until then, if you want to reach out to me, you can go on Instagram or any other social platform, look up hashtag the Indian Realtor, or if you'd like to watch the team show, it's on allinmiami.tv, allinmiami.tv. You'll see me, Will, and Jade. It's her birthday today. She's 24. and she's doing a great job. So is Will. And we hope to see you soon in real life or virtually, whichever one works best for you. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Love you.